Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Runda Vaneshwari Rishabhanu Stute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitya Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. So, let me read today's verse. I'm reading from Canto 3, chapter 15, and verse 17. Vaimanika salalanascharita shashvad gayanti yatra shamala kshipanani bhartuhu antarjale anuvikasan madhumadavinam gandena khanditadyo api anilam kshipantaha वैमानिका सललनाश्चरितानि शाश्वत गायन्ति यत्र शमला क्षपणानि भर्तुः अन्तर्जले अनुविकसन् मधुमाधवीनां गन्धेन खण्डितधियो अपि अनिलं क्षिपन्तः. One more time. वैमानिका सललनाश्चरितानि शाश्वत गायन्ति यत्र शमला क्षपणानि भर्तुः अंतर्जले अन्विकसन् मधुमाधवीनां गन्धेन खण्डितधियोऽपि अनिलं क्षिपन्तः. Synonym: Vaimanika, flying in their aeroplanes. Salananas, along with their wife. Charitani, activities. Shashvat, eternally. Gayanti, sing. Yatra, in those Vaikunta planets. Shamala, all inauspicious qualities. Shapadani, devoid of. Bhartuhu, of the Supreme Lord. Antarjale, in the midst of water. Anuvikasat, blossoming. Madhu, fragrant, laden with honey. Madhavinam, of the Madhavi flower. Gandhena, by the fragrance. Kanditaha, disturbed. Dhiya, minds. Api, even though. Anilam, breeze. Shipantaha, deriding. Translation: in the Vaikunta planets, the inhabitants fly in their aeroplanes, accompanied by their wives and consorts, and eternally sing of the character and activities of the Lord, which are always devoid of all inauspicious qualities. While singing the glories of the Lord, they deride even the presence of the blossoming Madhavi flowers, which are fragrant and laden with honey. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It appears from this verse that Vaikunta planets are full of all opulences. There are aeroplanes in which the inhabitants travel in the spiritual sky with their sweethearts. There is a breeze carrying the fragrance of blossoming flowers, And this breeze is so nice that it also carries the honey of the flowers. The inhabitants of Vaikunta, however, are so interested in glorifying the Lord that they do not like the disturbance of such a nice breeze while they are chanting the Lord's glories. In other words, they are pure devotees. They consider glorification of the Lord more important than their own sense gratification. In the Vaikunta planet, there is no question of sense gratification. To smell the fragrance of blossoming flower is certainly very nice, but it is simply for sense gratification. The inhabitants of Vaikunta gives first preference to the service of the Lord, not their own sense gratification. Serving the Lord in transcendental love yields such transcendental pleasure that in comparison, sense gratification is counted as insignificant. Okay, welcome devotees. Um, so this chapter is entitled as a description of Kingdom of God. Today verse is actually glorifying the residents of Vaikunta, and it is describing the mood that they carry always, right? So when I was reading this chapter, I was so fascinated, and I was trying to understand more and more about Vaikunta Loka. Actually, this chapter has a verse after verse after verse talking about Vaikunta Loka. Um, so sometime back when Maharaj, Rampad Maharaj was here, he was actually talking about the material world and the spiritual world. And during that class, he actually showed us a video, which is actually created by an Australian devotee. This actually, that video actually shows very nicely all the 14 planetary system, where is Shvetadvipa, and where is Brahma Jyoti? I mean, if you go above the material world, there is a Brahma Jyoti. If you go above that, I think there is a Shiva Loka. After that, if you go above, there is the Vaikunta Loka, and if you go further up, then you will reach Goloka. So when I was seeing this video again, I started getting questions like, what is this Vaikuntha Loka? Where is it exactly? And how far it is from this earth? And how does it look like? I started getting these kind of questions. So um, uh, then I did some searching here and there. I basically understood that in Gaudiya Vaishnava there is a 24 principal Vaikunta planets. If you see the video that Rampa Maharaj showed some time back, you will understand that why 24 planets is because if you remember the Chaturvyuha, there are four principal deities. They are Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. And these deities expand themselves into five more deities. Like Vasudeva expands himself as Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Adokshaja, and Purushottama. And Shankarsana expands himself into Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, Upendra, Achyuta. And Pradyumna expands himself into Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Narsimha, Janardana. And Aniruddha expands himself into Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodar, and Hari. So totally there are 20 expansions, and including four principal deities, Vasudeva, Shankarsana, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna, there are 24. So each one of them has their own planet. So that's why there are 24 Vaikunta planets. And also there is one more reason. How do you identify these 24 deities is based on the way they are holding Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. So that is conch, disc, club, and lotus, right? This is like a factorial 4, 4 into, if you do 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 is 24. So based on the way they are holding these Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, you can identify a particular deity. So, and each deity has their own planet. It's called Vaikunta Loka. So, I was also studying Madhvacharya's Tattvasara Grantha in the when we went to Udupi. Maharaj was also talking about the Vaikunta Loka from the Madhva Sampradaya. So I was also looking at Tattvasara Grantha, and also there is also one book called Vaikunta Varana. This actually gives a lot of details on Vaikunta Loka. I just captured few of them. So to understand that, um, okay, there is one more verse I found in Padma Purana. Actually, this reference was there in Madhvacharya Tattvasara Grantha. I just wanted to quote that. It is Tanmadde Nagari Divya So Ayodhya Prakirtita Aruda Yavana Hi Nitya Divya Nari Narai Rutaha. It says Tanmadhya Nagari Divya, meaning Madhya means in the center, Nagari means city, Divya means transcendental. So the city which is in the center is actually transcendental. And Sa Ayodhya Prakirtita, meaning it is famous by the name Ayodhya, right? The center of the city is Ayodhya, and it is transcendental. It is saying that. So now we need to understand what is the center of the city. So that actually explained in Vaikunta Varnane. So actually, you want to, if you want to understand this, I want to show a picture of Srirangam. Basically, Srirangam is a replica of Vaikunta. Okay, I just want to show you that before explaining about the Vaikunta. Then it is easy to understand. If you see my screen, this is the picture of Srirangam. Okay, actually Vaikunta is not in circular shape. It is actually square. Okay, if you see here, you see a square one here. This is called Prakara. Prakara is also called seven. Gate. Okay, to go to. I mean, in Vaikunta we heard that there are 7 gates, right? So each gate is actually called Prakara here, and the Dwara is actually called gate. Okay, if you see here, this is the third prakara. First 2 prakaras, it's not there in the picture because it is very huge. Actually, another thing with Srirangam is usually we see a temple in the city, right? But Srirangam, actually city is inside the temple. Okay, between first 2 prakaras, the entire city is there. Okay, from the third prakara, meaning from the third gate, only temples are there, different temples are there. See, if you see, this is the third prakara, and the innermost, you will see another square here. This is the fourth one, then this is the fifth one, this is the sixth one, and this is the seventh one. Okay, there is another picture. This is the aerial view. This is the third one, fourth one, and this is the fifth one, and sixth and seventh. Here, if you see, there is golden tower here that is actually called the sanctorium. Okay, see, there is another picture here. Okay, and also there is you know 30 seconds video. I just want to show you that. If you see here, okay, um, okay, this is the third, this is the fourth prakara, this is the fifth prakara, this is sixth, seventh. Everywhere you see a gate, this is dwaram. Okay, in the gate you will see a gopuram there, right? Okay, so now we saw this. Now let's come back to uh, our discussion. So I just drew a diagram here to understand how Vaikunta Loka looks like. Actually, based on Tattvasara Grantha, actually Vaikunta is divided into 3 parts. Okay, in the north, okay, before that, Vaikunta dimension is 28 crores in length and 28 crores yojana in breadth. Okay, that's like 280 million yojanas. And uh, there are 7 gates, right? So the distance between the first gate and the seventh gate is 25 million yojanas, like 280 million yojanas. are apart, first gate and seventh gate. After seventh gate, when you go here, whatever you are saying here, that is 23 crores yojana, that is 230 million yojana. So that is called Ayodhya. Okay. So this is actually divided into three parts. The north side, 2.5 crores yojana, that is like 25 million yojana, is called Durga Bhaga. And in the center, Ayodhya portion is called Shri Bhaga. And the south side, there is 25 million yojana is called Bhubhaga. Actually, how, I mean, this is called all the place within this prakara, within the seven gate, is called Amukta Sthana. And once you cross seventh gate, once you enter into the Ayodhya, that is called Mukta Sthana. Okay. The name is Ayodhya because Ayuddha. Yuddha means war. This place you cannot achieve by the war. So that's why it is called Ayodhya. Okay. Why it is called Muktasthana, Amuktasthana? Because there are many jnanis, they have got aparoksha jnana, all Paramatmavadis and Brahmavadis. When they get liberated, they don't directly go into Vaikunta, they come and stay in this Amuktasthana. Here they need to wait for the Brahma's 100 years to get over. Once that is done, they will take a bath in Virja river. If you see here in the picture, there is a blue, uh, a square. Actually, this is perfect square, but I'm not able to draw some perfect square here. So the Ayodhya and the all seven prakaras, seven gates are separated by Virja river. So all these aparoksha jnanis, they will take bath in the Virja river, and then they will get rid of their subtle body. That's called linga deha. So they get rid of their um, subtle body, and then they will enter into Ayodhya. The thing is, the people who are in Amuktasthana, they cannot enter, they cannot cross seventh gate. Okay, but Vishnu sometimes he will come into Amuktasthana, and he gives darshan to all the all the jnanis here. Okay, and then so between each prakaras there are many cities. Okay, so they live there. Once Brahma's time is over, once he completes his 100 years, then they will some of them will enter into the Vaikunta. Okay, so this is what I just wanted to share this one. And also we heard that once you go to Vaikunta, you will never come back, right? But there is also an instance where Brigamuni goes to Vaikunta Loka, but he comes back. And also we heard that Jaya Vijaya got into arguments with four Kumaras, and they had to, they got cursed and they came back to earth, right? That is because those things happened in these seven prakaras, within these seven gates. And it is said that Maya is still exists within these seven gates. So that's why, those things happened. But once you enter into this Ayodhya region where the core Vaikuntha is there you don't find any of those things. Okay, it is Nishkalmasha there. Okay, this is what I just wanted to say. And let's go back to this Padma Purana verse, Tanmadhya Nagari Divya, Sa Ayodhya Prakirtita. Now we understood. The city which is in the center is transcendental, and it is known as Ayodhya city. Okay, and Arudha Yavanahi Nitya. This means all the citizens, inhabitants of Vaikunta, they are 16-year-olds. They don't grow old, and there is no effect of time there. And Divya Nari Narayurutaha, and all men and women are transcendental there. And also this says in Vaikunta Loka, both men and women are there. Okay. So now, if you see the difference between material world and Vaikunta world, um, material world is everybody is so anxious. I mean, everybody has anxiety because there is a birth, death, old age, and disease. But in Vaikunta Loka, there is no birth, death, old age, and disease. That's why there is no anxiety. And in material world, everybody is busy with sense gratification. People, work hard to gratify their senses. But in Vaikunta Loka, there is only, dharmena aradyam harim. So dharma is, the service is only to serve the Lord. So there is only worship, only pure devotional service is there in Vaikunta Loka. And in material world, there is the bhakti we perform here, but sometimes it is mixed with the jnana, sometimes it is mixed with the karma. But in Vaikunta, there is a pure devotional service, anyabhilashita shunyam, right? So actually, Srila Prabhupada said, once we go to spiritual world, our actual devotional service starts from there, right? And also, the bhakti is interrupted in material world, but in spiritual world, it is ahaituki and apratihata, meaning it's not causeless and it is uninterrupted. It is continuously the devotional service is practiced in Vaikunta Loka. And also, whatever we do in this material world, it is out of our sense gratification, right? Whatever work we do, it is basically we want to get something to satisfy our senses. But in Vaikunta Loka, uh, everything is done out of love of Supreme Personality of God, and they just want to please Him. So that is where today's verse fit into. It says, Vaimanika Salalana Saritani Shashwat. Everybody has Vimana, everybody has aeroplane there, right? But and Prabhupada said this is a different kind of Vimana. It doesn't require jet fuel to fly. And also the residents they go in Vimana with all their wives and concerts. But they don't do sense gratification there. They do Gayanti Yatra Shamala Kshipananti Bhartuhu. They actually sing the glory of the Lord. Bhartuhu means Supreme Lord. They sing the glory of the Lord. Shamala Kshipananti, meaning, He is Supreme Lord is devoid of all inauspicious qualities. Right? Whatever He does is everything is auspicious. Even if He comes to this earth, it is auspicious. If He kills somebody, that is auspicious. Even if He steals something, that is auspicious, right? So, inhabitants of Vaikunta, they actually glorify such a Supreme Personality of God. And also, um, Antarjale Anuvikasan Madhu Madhavinam. So here, when they are traveling in Vimana, so whenever there is a fragrance from Madhavi flower, um, uh, here Madhu Madhavinam, meaning, when there is a breeze, uh, here on the earth, when there is a breeze, we get only the fragrance of the flower. But actually, in Vaikunta, along with the fragrance, Madhu also comes along with that. Actually, here we need to extract Madhu, right? So when they get this kind of fragrance, they think that it is a disturbance for them. So Gandhena Khanditadiyo api anilam Kshipanantaha. Meaning, when they get this smell, they feel it is a disturbance while glorifying the Lord. So that's why now Prabhupada here he says, the inhabitants of Vaikunta gives first preference to the service of the Lord, not their own sense gratification. Serving the Lord in transcendental love yields such transcendental pleasure. In comparison, sense gratification is counted as insignificant. Right? So the first preference for them is to glorify the Lord. They don't care about the sense gratification. The same thing when Krishna comes here, when he gives Bhagavad Gita, there is one verse where he is also asking everybody to follow the same principle here. So if you see Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 1st verse, he says, Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha. Meaning, do your work as an obligation. uh, don't take shelter of karma phala. Don't take shelter of the fruit of your work. So it is actually that is how the residents of Vaikunta they are executing their work. So Krishna is also asking us to do the same thing here. So these are the few points I just wanted to share today. If I've presented something wrong, please excuse me, or you can also give feedback. Please go ahead and share your realization or your reflection. Okay, if there is no comments, then we can stop here. Okay, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavavrind ki jai. Kantaraj Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna devotees.